Good morning from New York. I would like to thank all the creators, Linux creators, on YouTube for their great help, uh, and to Big Linux, uh, my favorite distro. It has made it possible for me better as a dummy to be able to do this YouTube channel successfully. Well, yeah, and I want to thank all the Google for, for creating YouTube. And I would like to thank the coffee growers and workers, chocolate growers and workers. That's something in a cacao. Um, that's these people have made great sacrifices, and they do every day. So that a few people, it seems, have great mornings. And I'd like to thank Nestle for the chocolate in my drink. Yeah. So there's a lot of people to thank in this world. And I'd like to thank you all. Um, yeah, it goes on, doesn't it? And you start to say thank you, and it's no end to all the good things that you need to get, which is humbling. It's something that we all need. The most humble people are scientists. Okay, it just something of my personal opinion. Yeah, definitely very humble people, and yeah, and they just stay true to what they find, and they don't paste on things that they like. It's just, it's well, hopefully, definitely not. And to Sapolsky, I'd like to thank for giving me such a window into the humbling aspects of what it is to be human. Yeah. Anyway, today's subject, getting right to it. Yeah, I get right to anything. You've been listening to me, you know I wander. Anyway, family structure and the inner mind communication philosophy. Yeah. And I'm looking over at my notes. You say, very professional. Yeah, be myself and I. The Three Stooges in one. Anyway, um, there the three generation family is very important and why. Um, well, you see in the three generation family an example of those um, more inclined toward particular needed perspectives and empathy, objective empathy. It's commonly said, fathers love what they're teaching. That's that's the tendency there. That doesn't mean that they can't do everything else. None of these things are absolute. No fussing. The main perspective is what I talking about. I talk about institutions and communication, music, empathy. Yeah. So, and the mother, loves with her heart, compassion, and empathy. Even especially more geared to that, when it comes to infants, even to the point of their ability to feel, to sensors, sensation, sensitivity, their sensation in their hands and their so on is greater. There was a study, I don't know how valid now, okay, but that the least sensitive woman in terms of touch is far more sensitive than the most sensitive male that they studied. Right? The exceptions, but yeah, there's a tendency there. But who needs to be up above this communication, because both of these parents are communicating with the kid. Remember, the kid is the dramatic self. The purpose of the family is to ensure a next generation and to love kids, right? Raise them in a healthy way. So this is like a timeline. If you've been listening to anything I've said before, and I don't always mention it, so. But there's a timeline, and the kid, in inner mind communication, there's a kid communicating with your inner counselor, your inner child, kid. That kid communicates with your inner caregiver. And the one perspective, the one communication the one I mentioned first, is about helping with anxieties and needs, from the present looking into the future. And from the present looking into the past, it's where compassion is very important, because it opens the gates of feeling, helps you to relive things, which helps to unlearn helplessness, any kind of helplessness of any degree. I mentioned before that there are 3 levels of that kind of helplessness. Totally arbitrary, and I created it myself, so bear that in mind. But the more extreme cases that affect people mentally to the point that they need a psychiatrist. So more pure toxic, helplessness, toxic to a person's ability to function mentally. That's toxic helplessness. ACEs, adverse childhood experiences, is any adverse kind of experience. Also includes some degree of helplessness, but perhaps not to that degree. And then there's the damaged faith and love, which is, just your normal experiences of average individual in a world that's not always kind. And that has to do with some spiritual kind of lack, spiritual infirmity. Sorry. Has to do with your spiritual health, and that has to do with how well developed your empathy, your forms of empathy are. That's what I mean by spiritual. And possibly that's up to you. The journey is what I present. Back to the family. Ooh, what person in a 3-generation family is most able to do creative be outside of that dramatic timeline, dealing with the current and past troubles, and so on. Be up above the whole thing, looking as it were at it, and and learning to have the benefit of this is to view the world in an artful way, creative way. So, and yet still to care. Be a guest, grandparents, either gender. These grandparents are the ones who are parenting the parents while the parents parent kids. I'm saying that the natural philosophy stemming from mind communication and perspective on empathy says that this is a healthier family when you have all three generations, and you have, the mother, the father, and the grandparents, and that's the best. Doesn't mean it can't be handled otherwise. People, it's a world in which people play many roles, and two fathers or two mothers could still pull this off. But I'm looking at the survival perspective here, the human race, and its general picture. So, and so you've got the three generation family as a better way to raise children. The kids, just they have time. So hopefully in a healthy three generation family, the elders have time to, be at play with the children. So that helps children with their playfulness. Important to survival. The fathers help with focus, activity, and the mothers help with their compassion, help the child to be able to feel what they feel, without fear. Now, all of these parenting figures can do any of these jobs. Say they can't. That's the natural order. So that's the general. So, but all of these perspectives are necessary for the child to develop. So the problems of not having this are that the ability to express feeling, to be a play in line, to focus clearly, are all impacted. So you're going to have a more restless classroom, noisier classroom. Children who don't grow properly don't learn empathy because there's nobody exemplifying that. And yeah, it occurs to me to mention that it has been said that the toughest guys, desperate situation in the hospital, may cry out for their mother. Yeah, I guess women too. What does that say? They need to feel, need someone to hear, be sensitive to those feelings. Crap for mom. Right? I'm just saying. Anyway, this this also impacts society, and when you are lacking in these empathies, then the institutions that are dedicated to, should be dedicated to their primary, main empathetic job will be impacted, and the ability to trust be impacted. You look at this, you hear all these conspiracy theories and this sort of thing. People basically don't trust. They haven't learned intelligent trust. There's not enough objective empathy so that they respect, for instance, well done news media. They don't have this basic trust that people are generally compassionate. It's no, something up with them. What do they do? They're all about greed. No, people are all about greed. And there's a problem with, like I said, the ability to play. Well, that affects the arts, and the latitude that the arts have. Humor, so many other things. People get agitated, smallest sort of things. People can't laugh at themselves. And, you got to be careful what you say, and the media, not creative, and the institution more about creativity. It can't be as creative. It's more confined. You get more, violent movies, things without resolution, and a sense of hopelessness almost can be engendered coming from the media, because it's composed of people. All these institutions composed of people. Poison the people, you poison the institutions, vice versa. Poison institutions can create poison people, but the hope is that any effort from institutions or individuals can increase empathy. Just decide to do that. Try to understand it works. So, yeah. So that's one impact. Another impact, of course, is war. You don't have the empathy strong. You have, say, a particular country that not very democratic. Now, the more democratic a country is, a sign of how healthy they are in terms of their empathy. And or you see a country that has come under the grip of totalitarian rule and this sort of thing. It's really bad for empathy. So, other thing is this kind of damage hurts the institutions and causes the rise of one institution over all the others, when you need all of those inputs. It's not very democratic. No freedom of voice and presence, influence. These major institutions, the media, creative empathy, extended family organizations, churches, temples, the compassionate empathy, government, the objective empathy, and business, which is all about trust, all the trading partners that gets damaged. So you have it from this kind of poisonous brew, this lack of empathy, spiritual disease. You have all of these results, really bad results. So if you're going to improve all of that, then okay, you got some work on your hands. And one thing that you can derive from all of this is that where the rights of women and children are going up, it's a healthier society. And I would dare say that all the healthier societies are those that incline in the ways that I'm talking about, one way or another. I don't want everything to be ruled by church institutions, and then you get theocracies. You don't want everything ruled by the government. And too much power in the government. In which case, you get very you get a lot of suppression, that a lack of sensitivity to human need can ensue, and yeah, so that's not good. That's where everything is centralized. Everything in these pictures becomes too centralized. Not enough inputs. And government running everything. That's just not good. Forget free enterprise. And then you've got the tendency could be to take over, in terms of creativity, creative empathy, the media. Well, what's wrong with that? Too much creativity, too much. Have you ever heard curiosity killed the cat? You can go too far with that. So that's the hippie commune. A bunch of kids experiment. Well, that isn't so bad. That is a warped society as well. And if business does everything, where's the empathy? It's all about cruel survival. Nothing else. It's very spiritually ill. Well, all of it's spiritually ill. But when you've got communication going on and your system of trade, which is vital and needs trust, you have all of these influences. Now, in this 3-generation family, the kid is like the trading partner in Turner's business in this picture. And the kid needs these forms of empathy in order to develop in a healthy way. And so, what else did I What else did I put over here? Oh, yeah. What should churches do? Temples, mosques, whatever. Extended family organization. What should they be doing? Well, they should be patching where there's a problem. If there's no elders, no grandparent aged folks to play with the children, people with time on their hands, don't go to Florida, okay? Don't relive you have a job to do. Be a play with the kids. Be a play. Tell them stories. Take them to the park. Listen to their complaints about their parents. You know, this is teach them the beauty of life, an artful life. That is your job. Your job is not to run away to Florida or to some other haven and try to live like you're younger than you are. Okay? You can have some fun, I'm not saying it. But you need to be helping children. It's all about the kids around the world. If there were more about the kids, then we wouldn't have wars. That is just an unbelievable thing. And when you're looking at a lack of balance in these institutions in terms of voice, the lack of the voice of women in government, church, and the media is a big problem. Let's, yeah, she may rule the home, I don't know. But you need women in business also. You need this democratization of, of empathies so that all of the empathies have voice. Yeah, I created a word. Empathies. Because there are forms of it. I got tired of saying this form. But you know what I'm saying, right? So that needs to be corrected. What can we do about that? Well, elect more women to office. Put more women on your board of directors. Consider women as ministers, leaders of spokespeople or whatever for the extended families, churches, temples, mosques, whatever. Again, the rights of women and children, paramount. What do you do with these groups who mess everything up horribly? Putin invading a peaceful country, right? Hamas invading Israel, and then Israel keeping the drama going. Drama is not the best way to live. It's going to shorten your life. You know, the more empathies, the less drama. Okay, I think that wraps it up pretty much. I hope that I might have been not too lost to and rambling to convey a clear message. Yeah. Support 3-generation families. Put more women into the institutions. Oh, yeah. And how do you deal? You don't just punish, you reward. Kind of, that's another point that I really need to make. Um, you know, if you're all about punishment, which is kind of a bad idea to begin with, you know, healing. Disincentives need to be at play in diplomacy, but at the same time, you know, there should be rewards. You know, you said, if you do the right thing, reach out with amazing love, that it surprises your enemy. Bless those that curse you. Do good to those who despitefully. Who said that? Is that JC? Yeah, Jesus. He said that. Yeah, a lot of religious figures said that. A lot of loving, wonderful things that the institutions built on them seem to be ignoring at times. So, anyway, come together in love. Realize that all is wondrous, artful, full of empathy and caring. One theater exists in all of us. That part, that perspective in me, would like to salute, honor that perspective in you. Namaste. Namaste. Have a good day, y'all.